Welcome, friends. What a beautiful spring day to be out in the woods in these old Tennessee ridges. Join me today as I search for some more of our old relics of our old people and listen to nature, the sights and sounds. What a beautiful time to be in these old woods. Yeah, join me as we walk up through these old ridge tops, along these old growed up logging woods of a time long ago, trying to find the history and the relics of our old people in these mountains. And they don't call these Tennessee ridges Rocky Top or nothing. It's some beautiful country, but oh, it's so rugged too. Nothing but rocks. Ain't that crazy? Almost looks like the state of Kentucky. Back. You never know. You never know. Looks like a headstone, don't it? Moving on. Good target. Right on top of this knob. Says an 18 to a 20. Let's try some iron on it. Shows a little iron. What could that be? We'll find out. That's rock there. That's a root there. More rocks. More rocks. Something little. In the middle of nowhere, an Allen bolt screw. Allen headed screw right there. Who knows? Could have been from an old tree stand or anything. Ah, goodness gracious. I thought it was something special. Oh well, let me check see if there's anything else here. There's something over here. Move this camera. Get my dagger. Probably another screw. Nope. This is a nail. Big old long, flat-headed looking roofing nail. You just don't never know, buddy. You don't know. These crazy targets in the middle of nowhere. There you go. There's a 16, 17, no iron. That would be a shotgun shell. We'll find out. Get it out of these roots. There it is. Shotgun shell, baby. See what that one is. Yes, and I know it's an old one. That's a Western Field. 12 gauge. That's an old one. Pretty good condition too. All right. Nice find. Moving on. There's a 14 to 16. No iron. Well, that acts like a shotgun shell. How old a one can I find? There it is. Shotgun shell. We'll see how old that one is. That's a Remington UMC Nitro Club. Nice old find there. All right, cleaning up, moving on. Now there's a wild target. 15, 16 with iron. And jumps up to 23. Acts like a bullet, don't it? On my detector. We'll see down in these tree roots. Well, there you go. What about that? That looks like a lug for a tractor or something, holds the wheel on. What that looks like. An old lug holds the wheel on to the rim, onto the hub, the axle. That's what that is. That's why it's reading crazy. Crazy reads. Well, there you go. That was it. I'm on the edge of this old logging road. Don't tell how old that is. Been logged one or two times since they settled this country, so I figured that's 100 years old around in that neighborhood. 20s, 30s. All right, moving on. There's a 15 to 16. No iron. Maybe it's an old shotgun shell. There it is. Shotgun shell. Good to find them. Let's see how old this one is. Now here's this one. Western repeater. I think that's what it says. Western expert, I'm sorry. Western expert. 12 gauge. All right, I'll clean up my mess and moving on. 18 to a 19, no iron. I get down. Over here. Shotgun shell. There you go. See what that one is. Best I can clean it up out here in the field. The Winchester New Rival. That's an old baby. Oh baby. Nice find. I find a lot of them. That was a favorite shell back then. All right, I'm moving on. Another wild target. 13 to an 18 with iron. Well, that hurt. Big rock I run my hand into. Way up here. Nope. There it is. There you go. That looks like something on an old a steering wheel assembly or something on some old vehicle. Gearbox or I don't know. You got me what that is. It's just things of the past, old history. What can I say? All right. Cleaning up, moving on. I love to explore these old ridges. There's stuff hidden in these ridges just waiting to be found. Even some treasures, if you're lucky enough to come up on them. And I come up on this a lot. Old tree stands up here. People hunt these ridges in the middle of nowhere, and I don't want to walk up on them. But oh, how I love just to sit out in these woods, listen to nature. You can hear an old tom turkey in the background. It's their time of year. And it's so lovely just to be out here in these woods and listen to nature. Pretty soon, this will be a virtual jungle. Well, there's a 12 to a foot 15 with a little iron in it, so who knows? Could be a rusty shotgun shell. Could be a nail. Nope. An old bullet. Shell casing. Looked like a 38, but I don't know. See it there. I can't tell out here in the field. I can't tell. But I'll clean it up when I get home and you'll see it right here. It didn't act like a shotgun shell. Moving on. There's a 15 to 16, no iron. Good sound. Shotgun shell. See what that one is. Remington Sure Shot. Get this thing to focus. Remington Sure Shot. 12 gauge. Okay. We're moving on. There's a 14-15, no iron. Right here somewhere. Well, there's an old bullet. That's probably it. Looks like an old slug, red just like a shotgun shell. Old red slug. That was it. Moving on. That was a 17 to an 18. Right there. That's a piece of copper tubing. Got a hole in it. See it? Oh well. That's all it was. Moving on. Well, guys, here's today's finds. I know I'm back in them woods, back in them ridges, and I do find a coin every once in a while. And people think I'm crazy back here finding history in these old woods, but I'd love to do it. Even if I don't find anything, I love to just get out in the woods, listen to nature, and explore. But anyway, here's today's finds, guys. I found some crazy stuff today, but I walked myself to death back in there, and I thought I'd get back in there. It's just a few days before turkey season, because when turkey season opens, I don't want to walk on somebody hunting back in there, back in them ridges. Well, them some rough country, too. Now, here's some crazy finds. That's a copper tubing. See, I shined it up there, cleaned it. It's just copper tubing in the middle of nowhere in them woods. Might be off an old brake line off when they's logging or something. Crazy. Now, here looks like, this is just an old lug you see that holds a big wheel on something. The lug bolt goes through here, stud, and it presses against the tire, holds it onto the wheel hub. That had to be when they's logging. That's all I can say. Tractor, machine of some kind. Heavy one too, for big old boat and big wheels on. Now they logged here about 100 years ago, the last time they logged. Now right here's something that I've scratched my head on and looked up a little bit. That looks like a steering mechanism for an old Model T. Now I may be wrong, but that's what it looks like. Something to do with the logging, the machinery, an old truck up here, or something on these old logging roads that's growed up that don't even look like roads anymore, just trails that I walk. They so growed up, so old. Well, that's what that looks like. That's a crazy find, but I didn't find nothing else of that. And yeah, I got up on the very knob of that ridge and thought I'd found something really great, because there was nothing else up there. I'd always been everywhere but around that knob, up on the top of that rocky knob. Now, they don't call this Tennessee Rocky Top for nothing. They are rocky up here, and they are rough. But I found this. An Allen head screw and a long roofing nail. Nothing else on that knob. What in the world they doing up there? What in the world would they be laying up there for? And nothing else on that knob. Nowhere. Except I found an old rock. It looked like a tombstone or something. But you don't never know in these old woods. So much history and time has went by, you don't know what they are. Now, I found some old nails. Now, these old nails are not like regular nails. On a metal detector, they read real high and crazy, because these are forged nails. And I mean, forged are made by hand. That's how old these are. And right here's another old nail. Now this nail is a nail for a horseshoe. Nail onto a horse's hoof. That's what that is. And it read like a shotgun shell. Crazy. Because they're forged nails. They're old. 1800s. And I found some old bullets. And I don't even show these to save time on the videos. But I've got video clips of them. Now here's an old hull that I found. Now it looks like, best I could tell, just by looks and the measurements, it looks like a 38 pistol. But if you look up here, I blowed it up and everything. I can't read it. It's too far gone. You can see here, I'll show a picture beside it. 2 per gone. Well, it looks like a 38. You got me. And yeah, I found some other old bullets. This is an old, looks like an old wad cutter bullet from 100 years ago. Pure lead. Blunt nose on it, looks like a crayon. I found a few on these ridges. These are 100-year-old wad cutter bullets. You never know. And yeah, I found some modern bullets. Like I said, I don't even show them just to save time. Now, I found plenty of shotgun shells. And Lord, they some of them good shape too to be so old. Here's a Remington UMC. And what that REM stands for is Remington, and UMC stands for this. It's Remington. UMC is United Metal Cartridge. Remington was taking them over and merged with them back then. And this is made from 1915 up to 1942. A sure shot. Here's another one. I found 2 of them, different places. 1915 to 1942. And here's another Remington, 16 gauge, Nitro Club, the same year, 1915 to 1942. Good shape. They're old shells. The metal's better in the older shells. And here's another one, Western Expert. It was made from 1932 to 1964. So it's not that old, but it is old. Here's another one, Western Expert. Same thing, same year. Different places. Now here's an old one. Western Field. They made these from 1897, 98 up to 1914. That's an old shell. See how good they clean up? The old brass, the older the shell is, the better the brass and metal was, and they'll last. 1898 to 1914. That's an old one. And the oldest one here, that I found plenty in these old woods, was a real favorite, Winchester New Rival. That's from 1897 to 1901. Old shell, but it was a favorite. Well, there's my finds, guys. I love just getting out in these woods and exploring. How old of one of these shotgun shells can I find? And you could see, as time goes on, I've been collecting. This thing is almost full. I love to find them. And there's some old ones too. 130-year-old, 140-year-old shells. Well, I'm hoping maybe, I'm thinking about, you can see here, I might make an old plaque that I'd give away a few years ago, make a couple of these, except maybe bigger, of like this state of Tennessee, with all the shells in it, I'd give away on a giveaway on the channel about 4 or 5 years ago. They're nice. I might just make some more of them, a big one, and give them away. Well, anyway, guys, I thought I'd get out in these woods before turkey season started because it'll be full of hunters in these ridges. I even heard a turkey today. So they're there, and it's that time of year. So, guys, I know I don't find coins and gold. You're not going to find them every day. And the people that says they do, there's no way that you can metal detect and every day find gold, silver, and old corn. It's not real. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure today. I love getting out in these woods. So I want you to take care of yourself. God bless every one of you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.